Could a hidden frequency really restore your youth? Imagine if there was a sound so powerful, so mysterious, that it could awaken your body's natural ability to heal, open the doors of your mind, and even draw to you the life you've been dreaming of. This isn't science fiction. It's something many researchers, mystics, and seekers have pointed to for decades. And in today's video, you're going to discover a secret that connects the ancient wisdom of vibration with the groundbreaking insights of Jacobo Grinberg. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may just change the way you think about health, energy, and reality itself. Now, before we dive into the hidden practice, let me take you back to a man whose work was silenced for years. Jacobo Grinberg was a Mexican neuroscientist and psychologist who dedicated his life to studying consciousness. He wasn't satisfied with ordinary explanations of the mind. He wanted to understand how our thoughts, our energy, and the very fabric of reality are intertwined. His work was daring, ahead of its time, and in many ways dangerous to the systems that wanted to keep people asleep. Grinberg developed the theory of the lattice, a field of interconnected energy that links all things. According to him, our consciousness isn't just locked inside our brains, it stretches out into this field, shaping and being shaped by it. This means that your thoughts are not just private little whispers in your head. They ripple out into reality. They interact with the world. And if you know how to align those ripples with the right vibration, you can manifest changes not only in your mind, but in your body and in your life. This is where the hidden frequency comes in. The 52.8 Hz tone, often called the love frequency, has been studied for its effects on the human body. Some research shows it can reduce stress hormones, increase healing responses, and even influence our DNA repair processes. Now think about that. If a single vibration can literally touch your cells, what happens when you combine it with focused consciousness, clear intention, and the deep practices Jacobo Grinberg was teaching? That's not just meditation, that's transformation. But here's the part most people don't know. Grinberg believed that human beings could access extraordinary abilities if they learned to merge their awareness with these subtle fields of energy. He studied healers in Mexico who could use intention to alter physical reality. He documented cases where rituals and vibrations shifted people's states of mind, their health, and even their perception of time. These were not fairy tales to him. They were clues to a hidden technology of the mind, a technology that anyone could use if they were willing to step outside the ordinary. And this is why this video matters. Because in the next few minutes, you'll not only learn about the science of 52.8 Hz, but also how to use it as a tool to awaken youthfulness in your body, restore balance to your emotions, and attract what you truly desire into your life. More importantly, you'll see how Jacobo Grinberg's ideas give us a roadmap, a way to understand why this works, and how you can practice it safely and effectively at home. So ask yourself right now, what would it feel like to wake up each morning with more energy, more clarity, and the sense that life itself is flowing in your favor? What would it mean to you to look in the mirror and see not just your reflection, but a younger, more vibrant version of yourself beginning to emerge? What desires have you been carrying silently in your heart, waiting for the right key to unlock them? This hidden technique might be that key. And let me be clear. This isn't about magic spells or empty promises. It's about aligning with a frequency that is already woven into the universe and learning to use your mind the way Grinberg discovered it was meant to be used, as a bridge between the invisible and the visible, between intention and manifestation. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to use the 52.8 Hz frequency in harmony with Jacobo Grinberg's methods. You'll have a practice you can try immediately, one that can open the door to youth, healing, and attraction. But you'll need to stay with me until the very end, because each step builds on the last. Miss one, and you risk missing the secret that ties it all together. Welcome to Awakened Synchronicity, where we uncover the hidden wisdom that can elevate your mind, body, and spirit. If you're ready to step into this journey with us, make sure you subscribe right now and join our growing community of seekers. Because together, we are awakening to truths that the world has kept hidden for far too long. Before we talk about the hidden technique that Jacobo Grinberg hinted at, we need to understand one of its most mysterious elements, the 512-8 hertz frequency. This number may sound technical at first, like something from physics class, but it carries with it a powerful reputation. It is part of what's known as the solfeggio frequencies, ancient sound patterns that many believe were used in sacred music, rituals, and spiritual practices thousands of years ago. Each of these frequencies has been said to influence the human body and mind in unique ways, but among them 512-8 hertz stands out as something special. The solfeggio scale itself has deep roots. Some claim it dates back to early Gregorian chants, where certain tones were used not just for music, but for altering states of consciousness. Imagine a sound so carefully chosen that it didn't just please the ear, it shifted your entire being. These were not ordinary notes. They were believed to be coded with mathematical harmony, vibrations that resonated with creation itself. And at the heart of this ancient system lies the frequency of 512-8 hertz. So, what exactly does 512-8 mean? It simply refers to the number of cycles per second that the sound wave vibrates. But in the language of energy and resonance, that vibration has a unique signature. Scientists who have studied it often call it the miracle tone. Others call it the love frequency. Why love? Because many people report feelings of peace, connection, and deep emotional release when exposed to it. It's as if the sound is tuning the heart as much as it's vibrating the ear. Now here's where it gets even more fascinating. Modern research has shown that sound frequencies can influence biological processes. In the case of 528 hertz, studies suggest it can reduce stress by lowering cortisol, balance the autonomic nervous system, and even support DNA repair mechanisms. Yes, you heard that correctly. There are experiments showing that this simple vibration can affect the very building blocks of life. For example, in lab conditions, exposure to 528 hertz has been linked to reduced oxidative stress, which is one of the main factors behind aging and cellular damage. Other studies point to its ability to calm the body, ease anxiety, and trigger healing responses. When you combine these findings with the ancient associations of the solfeggio scale, the picture becomes even more compelling. It's as if our ancestors already knew something about these vibrations, long before modern science could put it under a microscope. They treated sound as medicine, and 528 hertz in particular was a frequency that seemed to resonate with harmony, balance, and rejuvenation. But the story doesn't end there. Beyond the science and history, people around the world have shared personal experiences of listening to 528 hertz tones. Some describe sudden emotional breakthroughs, like a weight being lifted from the heart. Others report feeling more youthful, as if their bodies had released tension that had been stored for years. Many use it during meditation, finding that it deepens their focus and opens up a state of inner calm that is difficult to reach otherwise. And there are those who swear by its ability to attract synchronicities, moments where reality itself seems to bend to their intentions. Jacobo Grinberg would not have dismissed this as mere coincidence. In his theory of consciousness, vibration and awareness are inseparable. To him, the mind is not isolated from the body or the environment. It is part of a larger field that interacts constantly with energy. So, when people describe life-changing experiences with 528 hertz, Grinberg's ideas help explain why the sound is not only affecting the ear, it is creating ripples in the lattice of consciousness. And when your consciousness aligns with a ripple that carries love, balance, and healing, your reality begins to reflect those qualities back to you. Think about what this means. A simple tone, something you can play on any device, carries the potential to awaken the body's natural intelligence. It can soothe the nervous system, clear the emotional field, and perhaps even spark changes at the level of DNA. This is not just about hearing music. It's about entering into resonance with a frequency that speaks to the very code of life itself. And that is why 52.8 Hz has been called the frequency of miracles, because miracles, in their truest sense, are not violations of nature, they are expressions of it. They are what happens when we align with the deeper order, the hidden harmony, the vibration that has always been there, waiting for us to tune in. When ancient mystics and modern scientists both point to the same frequency, perhaps it is worth paying attention. And when Jacobo Grinberg's research on consciousness suggests that our minds can shape and amplify such vibrations, it opens the door to possibilities most of us have never imagined. Science is beginning to confirm what mystics, healers, and seekers have whispered for centuries. Sound is not just something we hear, it is something that shapes us at the deepest levels. Before we talk about how Jacobo Grinberg tied consciousness to vibration, let's look at what researchers have found when they studied the effects of the 52.8 Hz frequency on the human body and mind. One study published in the journal Squop investigated how 528 Hz influences the endocrine and autonomic nervous system. The results were remarkable. Participants exposed to the sound showed measurable decreases in cortisol, the hormone of stress. At the same time, levels of oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone or love hormone, were elevated. This is no small thing. Cortisol ages the body, wears down the immune system, and clouds the mind. Oxytocin, on the other hand, promotes connection, relaxation, trust, and emotional healing. In simple terms, this frequency seems to switch off the body's stress response and switch on the chemistry of safety and harmony. Imagine what this does not only for your mood, but for your entire system of regeneration. Another study published on PubMed looked at the cellular level. Scientists exposed astrocytes, important support cells in the brain, to stress conditions and then applied the 5.38 Hz frequency. They found that this sound reduced the production of reactive oxygen species, the harmful molecules that cause oxidative stress, cell damage and aging. Even more fascinating, it prevented cell death in these astrocytes. In other words, the frequency created an environment where brain cells could survive and thrive, even under conditions that normally destroy them. This points to a real biological mechanism for why people report feeling renewed, energized, or younger after consistent exposure to 5.38 Hz. Put these findings together, and the picture becomes clear: less stress chemistry, more bonding chemistry, protection against oxidative damage, and increased cellular survival. These are the ingredients of youth, healing, and longevity. Science may not yet have all the answers, but the data strongly suggests that this vibration holds a key to regeneration. And this is where Jacobo Grinberg's work becomes essential. He was not just a scientist of the brain, he was a scientist of consciousness. He believed that attention itself is a force, a vibration that interacts with the field of reality he called the lattice. In his view, frequencies like 5.28 Hz are not just passive sounds, they are gateways. They open a channel where consciousness can interact with the deeper layers of reality. When you bring your intention into alignment with such a frequency, the effect is amplified. It is no longer just sound waves touching your cells. It becomes awareness sculpting energy, shaping biology, and bending probabilities. Think of it this way. The frequency creates resonance in the body, calming stress and awakening regeneration. At the same time, your intention directs that resonance, giving it a purpose. Without intention, the frequency is like a powerful river with no direction. With intention, it becomes a current that carries you exactly where you want to go. This is the hidden technique, not just listening passively, but merging your consciousness with the vibration. So how can you actually practice this? Let's break it down step by step. Step 1 is setting intention. This is where many people stumble. They say they want to be young or healthy or wealthy, but they haven't truly defined what that means. Clarity is power. Do you want more energy? Do you want your skin to glow? Do you want freedom from a specific pain? Or do you want to attract opportunities, love, or abundance? You need to shape the intention in clear, simple language that your mind and heart both understand. Step 2 is using the sound itself. Play a 52-weight hertz tone or track, ideally in a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Let the vibration wash over you. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine that each breath is tuning your body to this frequency, as if your cells are humming in harmony with it. The science shows this is not just imagination. Your nervous system is responding, your hormones are shifting, and your cells are listening. Step 3 is visualization and emotional alignment. This is where Grinberg's insights into consciousness become practical. Visualization alone can be empty if it lacks emotion. But when you see yourself youthful, healthy, and abundant, and you also feel the joy, the love, the excitement of already being that version of you, you are sending a powerful signal into the field. Grinberg believed that emotions are the glue that binds consciousness to reality. By aligning your inner feeling with the vibration of 5.8 hertz, you create coherence. Your mind and body are speaking the same language, and reality listens. Step 4 is consistency and belief. One session will not rewrite a lifetime of stress and conditioning. You must return to the practice daily, even if only for a few minutes. The field responds to repetition. Each session is like carving a groove into the fabric of your reality. Over time, the groove becomes a channel, and energy flows more easily along it. This is where trust becomes essential. Doubt is like static in the signal. Belief, even if gentle and quiet, strengthens the effect. Remember, Grinberg taught that consciousness is creative. If you meet the practice with faith, you are already shaping the outcome. Now let's talk about why so many manifestation practices fail. It's not because the ideas are wrong, it's because the execution is weak. People often lack clarity in their desires. They try to manifest while still carrying doubts, fears, or conflicting emotions. They give up after a few days, declaring it doesn't work. Or they approach the practice with impatience, demanding results instead of allowing them to unfold. In the language of vibration, these are blockages. They scatter the signal, breaking the coherence that manifestation requires. This is why the 5.8 hertz frequency is so powerful. It helps dissolve those very blockages. Stress and fear are not just thoughts. They are physiological states. They tighten the body, flood it with cortisol, and cloud the mind. When you immerse yourself in 5.8 hertz, the body naturally relaxes, cortisol drops, oxytocin rises, and the emotional field clears. This creates the inner environment where manifestation can actually take root. You're no longer trying to force reality while carrying stress. You're flowing with reality in a state of calm receptivity. In this state, your intention is sharper, your emotions are aligned, your consciousness is coherent. And when all three align with the frequency, the results can feel miraculous. Not because the sound is magic, but because you are finally using the hidden technology that Grinberg hinted at, the union of consciousness and vibration. It is here, in this merging, that the true power of 5.8 hertz reveals itself. Not just as a healing sound, not just as a calming tone, but as a bridge between mind and matter, a bridge that can carry you toward youth, health, and the life you desire, if you dare to walk across it with clarity, faith, and persistence. When you begin working with the 5.8 hertz frequency alongside focused intention, one of the first questions that will arise is, how do I know it's working? The truth is, results can show up in subtle ways before they become obvious. They are often felt before they are seen, and if you are paying attention, your body and emotions will give you signals that you are tuning into a different state of being. The first signs many people notice are physical. Energy levels begin to shift. If you've been dragging through the day, you may find that your body feels lighter, more awake, and more capable of carrying you through tasks without that heavy fatigue. Some describe this as a quiet stamina that builds over time. Instead of relying on coffee or stimulants, it feels as if life itself is supplying energy from within. Another sign is skin quality. The reduction of stress hormones in the body has an effect on circulation and regeneration, which can reflect outward as a clearer, brighter complexion. Small aches and pains may seem to ease more quickly than before, as if the body is listening to a new rhythm of healing. Along with the physical comes the emotional. This is where the change often feels most striking. Anxiety, which may have been an almost constant companion, begins to lose its grip. Worries that used to spin endlessly in the mind seem quieter, as though the volume has been turned down. What replaces them is a sense of calm, sometimes even a peace that feels larger than your own mind. Confidence can emerge not as arrogance but as a steady assurance that you are supported, that life is beginning to align in your favor. People who practice with 50-28 hertz regularly often describe feeling in tune, as though their inner state is finally matching the outer flow of events. This alignment is one of the strongest indicators that the practice is taking root. There are also subtle physical markers that can serve as quiet confirmations. Sleep may become deeper and more restorative. Digestive issues may ease. Breathing may naturally slow down and deepen during the day. Even the way the heart feels in the chest can shift. Instead of racing under stress, it may begin to beat in a more coherent, steady rhythm. Some notice that when they look at themselves in the mirror, their eyes appear brighter, more alive. These are small changes, but taken together they suggest that the body is rebalancing and regenerating. Of course, it's important to approach these practices with realism. Not every claim about 50-28 hertz has been proven by science. Some studies have been small in scale, others are still waiting for deeper research to confirm their results. The frequency should not be seen as a magic wand that instantly fixes every problem. It is better understood as a tool, one that creates the conditions in which healing and manifestation become more possible. For best results, it must be combined with discipline, patience, and a holistic lifestyle. A body that is exhausted from poor diet, lack of sleep, or constant stress will respond more slowly. But when the frequency is paired with good nourishment, rest, and a positive mindset, its effects can become profound. Jacobo Grinberg would remind us that consciousness shapes the outcome. The frequency itself is powerful, but your awareness directs its power. If you listen passively while holding doubt, fear, or scattered attention, the results will be weaker. If you listen with clarity, presence, and genuine belief, the results are magnified. This is why patience and consistency are so important. You are not simply playing a tone, you are training your mind to enter resonance with it, day after day, until the alignment becomes natural. Real experiences shared by those who use 50-28 hertz with intention give us a glimpse of what is possible. One person spoke of entering the practice during a time of overwhelming stress. Within a week of daily listening combined with focused intention, they noticed that their body no longer carried the same tension. Sleep improved, and with it came a renewed sense of vitality. Over time, their skin began to look fresher, and their friends commented that they seemed younger, more alive. Another example comes from someone who had been quietly holding a desire for a meaningful opportunity in their career. They combined meditation with 50-28 hertz, visualizing the opportunity as if it had already arrived. Within weeks, unexpected contacts and chances began appearing, leading directly to the outcome they had hoped for. To them, it felt as though reality itself had rearranged to meet their intention. Stories like these are not about luck. They reflect what happens when the physiological calming of 50-28 hertz meets the conscious alignment of intention. Stress no longer blocks the flow, the body is receptive, and the mind is sending a clear signal into the field of reality. Grinberg's theory of the lattice makes sense of these outcomes. The consciousness of the practitioner interacts with the vibrational field, creating ripples that eventually become events. If you are ready to test this for yourself, you can begin with a simple practice session. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Sit comfortably or lie down if that feels better. Step 1. Set your intention. Choose a single focus, youth, healing, energy, or a specific desire. Keep it clear and simple, like a single sentence you can repeat in your mind. Step 2. Play a fine 208 hertz track. Allow the sound to fill the space and let your body relax into it. Step 3. Close your eyes and visualize. See yourself as already having the result you desire. If it is youth, imagine your body glowing with vitality. If it is health, picture your cells regenerating. If it is a life goal, imagine yourself living it fully. Step 4. Bring emotion into the visualization. Feel the joy, relief, or love of already being there. Let the emotion rise naturally and blend with the sound. Step 5. After 10 to 15 minutes, close the practice with gratitude. Silently thank the field, thank yourself, and thank the vibration for carrying your intention. To deepen the practice, consider the environment and timing. Many find it powerful in the early morning, before the noise of the day enters the mind. Others prefer nighttime, using the frequency to cleanse the stress of the day and prepare for deep rest. The environment should be calm, perhaps with dim lighting or even darkness, to minimize distraction. Over time, your mind will begin to associate fine 208 hertz with this sacred space, and entering the practice will feel easier and more natural. With consistency, you may find that your body, emotions, and life begin to respond in surprising ways. The changes might be small at first. Better sleep, calmer thoughts. But if you stay with it, they can accumulate into something much larger. The key is to notice the subtle shifts, honor them, and continue walking the path. Jacobo Grinberg's vision was that human beings could awaken extraordinary abilities when they combined awareness with energy. The 528 hertz frequency is one doorway into that vision, waiting for you to step through. We have traveled together through the fascinating connection between Jacobo Grinberg's research on consciousness and the mysterious power of the 528 hertz frequency. You've seen how science shows real effects on the body: lower cortisol, higher oxytocin, protection against cellular stress. You've seen how ancient traditions describe this frequency as a vibration of harmony and love. And you've learned how, when combined with focused intention, visualization, and emotional alignment, it becomes far more than just sound. It becomes a doorway to youthfulness, healing, and the ability to attract what your heart truly desires. Now, here is the most important part. This is not knowledge to simply hear and forget. This is a practice, a tool that only reveals its power when you use it. So I want to invite you into a simple challenge. For 1 week, set aside a few minutes each day, play a 528 hertz track, close your eyes, and allow yourself to step into the hidden technique we have shared here. Begin with clarity. Decide on your intention. Maybe it's to feel younger in your body. Maybe it's to release stress. Maybe it's to invite a specific desire into your life. Hold that intention gently, as if it were already alive within you. As the frequency fills your space, let your body soften. Let the sound do what science shows it can do: ease stress hormones, balance your system, and calm your nerves. Then bring your mind into the picture. See yourself already experiencing what you desire. Feel it as if it is here, now. Let that emotion blend with the vibration, carrying your message into the deeper field of reality. When the practice is complete, take a breath and give thanks. Gratitude seals the moment. Do not expect fireworks on the first day. Sometimes the shifts are subtle at first. A better night's sleep, a calmer mood, a little more energy in the morning. Notice these small changes. They are signs that your body and mind are aligning with the frequency. Over time, those small changes build. What begins as less fatigue can grow into real vitality. What begins as a calmer mood can expand into steady confidence. What begins as a small coincidence can grow into synchronicities that reshape your path. This is why belief and consistency matter. Each session is like planting a seed in the field of reality. With care, those seeds sprout. With patience, they bloom. Remember, Jacobo Grinberg taught that consciousness is not trapped in the skull. It extends into the lattice of reality itself. Every focused thought, every clear intention, every aligned emotion is a ripple in that lattice. The 52 hertz frequency simply helps those ripples travel farther, stronger, and cleaner. You are not just listening to sound, you are sending your message into the very structure of existence. That is why you must approach this with trust. Even if results are not immediate, they are forming, unfolding, finding their way to you in the timing that is right. So here is my call to you. Take this week and test it for yourself. Do not rely only on stories, studies, or theories. Become your own experiment. Experience the technique and let your life show you the proof. Because once you feel the shifts, once you taste the energy, the calm, the alignment, you will know this is real and you will have a tool that no one can take from you. If this message has resonated with you, if you are ready to awaken the hidden powers of your mind and body, then join our journey. Like this video so it reaches more seekers like you. Subscribe to our channel, Awaken Synchronicity, and become part of a growing community that is rediscovering truths the world tried to keep hidden. Every week we uncover more of Jacobo Grinberg's wisdom, more techniques, and more ways to awaken the extraordinary within you. Your path to youth, healing, and manifestation begins the moment you take the first step. Why not take it today?